Let's solve a system of equations by graphing. As you can see here in the yellow, I have a system of equations defined. The top equation is y equals 2 plus 1/3 x, and the bottom one is 3y equals negative 2x minus 3. Now I'm going to rewrite this system, but first I want to rearrange some terms so that these equations are both written in slope-intercept form. So on this top equation, what I'll do is I'll just switch the positions of these two terms here, and I will have y equals 1/3 x plus 2. And we'll use our standard technique for grading those. For the other equation, what I need to do is divide everything by 3. So I'll divide by 3 here, I'll divide by 3 here, and I'll divide by 3 here. When you divide this last 3 by 3, you get 1. And so that second equation works out to be y equals negative 2/3 x minus 1. So I've transformed the yellow system into this red system. Now, in terms of how I graph these, I'm going to graph this top line in blue and the bottom line in green. And when you solve a system by graphing, what you're looking for is where these two lines cross. So you got to kind of give it a little care when you graph these so it can be fairly accurate. All right, so let's remind ourselves how we graph these lines. What we typically do is we start by graphing the y-intercept. So in my blue line, the y-intercept is 2. So I put a dot on 2. The slope of this line is 1/3. And remember, that means rise over run. So I'm going to go up 1 and over 3, and up 1 and over 3. 1, 2, 3. Did I count right here? Up 1 over 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I missed it a little bit. Let's just erase this bad boy here. Okay, let's try this again. I got to make my dots a little more precise. So there's a dot, and then up 1 and over 3. Up 1, 1, 2. There's a dot. And you could also go down 1 and back 3. Down 1 and back 3. So there's that one. And what we do is we try, and it's better with a straight edge, so we try and draw that line long across the entire grid because we don't know yet where these guys are going to cross. Okay, so I've got the first line drawn. Apologies for this point here. I sort of missed the dot, but if I had a ruler on it, it'd look a little better. Let's draw this green line now. The y-intercept for the green line is negative 1. Ooh, wait a minute. I didn't pay attention to the scale on this. A real video maker would do this thing over, but I'm a one-take wonder, so I'm going to do this the right way. But right in the middle of a video, I don't have time to redo a video. Let's try this again. Notice the scale on this grid. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, this is 6, and so on. So I plotted the y-intercept correctly at 2. But when I go up 1 unit, that's really 2 squares. So I have to go up 1, and I have to go over 3 units, which is 6 squares. So that dot is really right here. And up 1 and over 3 is really right here. So that line, let's go down 1 and back 3. So 1, 2, 3 is really right here. That makes a little more sense. That's my fault for not paying attention to my grid. Not necessarily any math that I did wrong over here in the red. Okay, back to the second line. So the second line is y-intercept of negative 1, and then the slope is also negative. Typically what I tell my students is that the top number is either up or down, and this one's always right. So I'm going to go down 2 and right 3. So that would be down 1, down 2, right 1, 2, 3. That would be here. So the line is heading in this direction, which of course is going away from the blue line. I want to find out where these things cross. So what I really need to do is go up 2 and left 3. So I'll reverse that process. So up 2, 1, 2, and left 3, 1, 2, 3, and holy cow, look at that. That's where those guys cross. And what we need to do is just figure out what the intersection is. So with this particular grid, this line right here is negative 3, and this one's positive 1. So our coordinates are negative 3, comma 1, where those intersect. So we solve this by graphing. We rearrange the equations into slope-intercept form, and then after I figured out the grid, we use the y-intercept and then the rise over run to draw the two lines. and then we looked for the place where they crossed to solve it. So hopefully this helps. Good luck with your solving systems using graphing. Take care.